Hello and welcome to the Big Match Theory. I'm Mangesh, and along with me, as always, I have Rohit and Abhishek. Fortunately for me and Rohit, this is an international break. There is no club football, so probably you'll hear less of cribbing and whinging about United and how this club makes our lives miserable. But to make matters worse, we have decided to talk a bit about Jurgen Klopp, and maybe it's just our way of making up for the grief we have caused Abhishek over the years. So we'll talk about a bit about Jurgen Klopp and his Liverpool days. But I want to start with his latest role at Red Bull Club, a Red Bull Group, basically. So he has been appointed as the head of global soccer for the Red Bull Group. For this role, he has been wildly criticized, mainly in Germany. And for those who do not know, Red Bull Group, they own several football teams, including RB Leipzig in Germany, Salzburg in Austria, and New York Red Bull in the United States. And what they do is they mainly use these football clubs or any sports team, including the F1 team, as marketing tool. It is just a way of for them to enhance their businesses. So for fans, especially for fans in Germany, they represent all things that they do not like, especially commercialization of the sport. We can get into that bit if you want. But the biggest grouse for the fans, it seems, he Klopp was always touted as the man of the people. He criticized Red Bull Group in the past when he was at Liverpool, and he managed clubs like Dortmund and Mainz, the club of working class citizens. Now, this is something I'm very happy about. That he is just another hypocrite manager. I'm very happy about that. He's not as great as great as Liverpool fans thought he was. But he's not the first manager to have gone back on his word. I mean, the Premier League's two greatest managers, Sir Alex and Pep Guardiola, are hypocrites of the highest order. So I just want to know Abhishek's take on this. I mean, mainly because this moral warfare gets too much for me. So what are your views about this on this whole saga, Abhishek?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, usually I try to. Where do you draw the line, right? Between what is right
Yeah,
and what is wrong in terms of, when it comes to football, where do you draw the line? And Klopp, as you said, right, every single manager has gone back on his word several times. Jose Mourinho has done it so many times as well. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to judge. I know it has literally, he's literally so I saw someone said he's literally got Hollywood Hogan at this point by by going to RB Leipzig, and that is probably true. There was a photo of, if you remember, when Hogan was Hollywood Hogan. He had written the word on a plane, and there was a photo of
NWO. He's read NWO.
yeah,
He's just spray
yeah,
paint.
yeah. Yeah. Someone had replaced that with RB and Klopp in his place. So, you know, I mean, it is a little bit surprising. A lot of Dortmund fans hate him because everyone hates RB Leipzig. RB
yeah,
Leipzig, I didn't know, but I thought that RB Leipzig was a club before. They were founded in 2009,
yeah. So
and
they
even
sorry,
our
sorry, go on. Hmm.
no, no, even Salzburg, right? They own own
Yeah,
own own that team at the moment. Even that team
yeah.
was, apparently, it was completely different. Their whole their colors and everything was completely different. And the RB Leipzig came in, and I mean, Red Bull came in and changed everything. So yes, they are overly hated, and Jurgen Klopp, being the the man of the people, as everyone used to think of him, is a little bit. I mean, you co- I don't know what to say. I have One thing I've learned very quickly is to, distinguish the art from the artist. A lot of these people in their real lives are hypocrites. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
you can't do much about it. Will I love Jurgen Klopp as a Liverpool manager forever? Of course, but yeah. I mean, we'll see. He has a clause in his contract, by the way, apparently, that he that if the German national team approaches him, he can leave.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea about how sneaky these Red Bull guys are, I mean, you need to consider the story of Leipzig. Okay, the name of that team was, I think, SSV Markenstraat,
Hmm.
and they were in the fifth tier of German football. So what Red Bull guys did, they changed their jersey, they changed their logo, they changed their name, but a lot of people think that full form of RB Leipzig is Red Bull Leipzig. It is not. It is not. It is Rasenball Sport Leipzig. And the reason they use Rasenball Sport is basically they are forbidden from using the name of sponsor in football team's name. Okay, so what they did was they used this made up German word called Rasenball Sport, which literally means lawn sport, and they used that tactic. Now nobody knows, nobody knows what Rasenball Sport is. Everyone thinks the name of the Leipzig is Red Bull Leipzig, but
It's a made up
it
word.
is yeah,
It's
it
a
is a
made up
metaphor.
word. It means nothing.
It is a
Yeah.
metaphor. Yeah, yeah, and everyone thinks it's Red Bull. It is not.
It
I
is
mean,
like what we used to see in, you remember that game, not FIFA, the other one. Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
No, we used to see it in cricket. Cricket
yes.
also when D.
yeah, yeah,
Dhanier and S. Tendehar used to bat together.
yeah.
PES में ऐसा सब नाम हुआ करता
Ah,
था,
ऐसा सब भी था.
Man Red and
हाँ.
things like that. वैसे उन्होंने they've made Dragon Ball.
No, but you know what? I wanna play devil's advocate for a second. If you let me be Hollywood Hogan between the three of us right now. You know what? You look at the Red Bull group and the way they run their operations, right? We had Ralph Rangnick, I think, was closely
Yeah.
associated with them in terms of how they recruit and how they set their operations up and all that. In my opinion, that whole group is probably it's it's sort of like the money ball of soccer, if you think about
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? Their operations are very different. They have an excellent network of scouts where they sort of pick up really, really cheap, I would say cheap, and they pick up great talents on the cheap, and they're managing to sell these off to larger clubs, at astronomical prices. And at the same time, at least when Rangnick was there, you look at the way Leipzig played football, not just the way that they were run out of the boardroom, which was fabulous. Their football wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
Leipzig used to play a very, very aggressive, the Gegen pressing or whatever you want to call it. They played that brand of football. Sure, it's look. I mean, we can sit here and pontificate about how certain clubs represent the people and how certain clubs, the salt of the earth and all of that. But I somewhere feel that this is the reality. If we are able to sit and applaud Pep Guardiola for basically managing a state-run football club, if you're okay with that, why should you not be okay with Leipzig? If you're okay to applaud a club that is literally being built on oil money, why should you not applaud, the Red Bull group? So I think it is, as you said, it is hypocritical in a way that we are okay, when we say good things about a certain entity, but we use different yardsticks for something else. I don't agree with that. At the end of the day, football is a sport, yes. At the end of the day, it is also a business. It is also a group of people trying to do something in a different way. So you may like it, you may not like it. Is it legal? Yes. So you may not like it, but it is what it is.
So you touched upon football being business, but people forget that it's a terrible business.
Yeah.
Almost all the clubs are in debt, including Real, including Barca. The only club that was not in debt, or which had, I think, revenue of about 300 million, was Manchester United when Peter Kenyon was chief executive before Glazers took over back in, I think, 2003-4.
Hmm.
So football is a terrible business. So people think that once you get into football, okay, you are going to be from millionaire, you are going to be a billionaire. That is not going. That will never be the case.
But that's the thing, right? Look, even the Red Bull group, what they are trying to sort of do is corporatize football.
Yeah.
So it's basically, in business sense, what they essentially did was they took a sick unit, like whatever was that Manson shaft or whatever is that.
Uh,
I'm
Mark and
sure
Strat, yeah.
murdered that the German language. But they basically took a sick unit, and
Mhm.
through their operational excellence, they have turned it into a successful enterprise.
Yeah.
If I go ahead and do that in the business, I make it to the Forbes top 30 list. The
Yeah.
Red Bull group does it in football, and we call them as football killers or whatever it is. So I don't know. I don't
I mean, how
necessarily.
is it any different? How is it any different to Chelsea or Man
No,
City
no, it's
or
not.
any of the other big clubs that have come that are in the Premier League who've got owners from
Yeah.
outside? Every single top six club at the moment has a big owner that has come from outside, and the only thing they've not done is change the name of the football club or anything about the football club, but they've all tried to do pretty much exactly the same. But I think in Germany, RB is probably the only one, right? That there's some 50+1 rule that
Yeah.
uh, I think they are
51-49. Yeah.
50 or 49, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Just latching on to your point, you talk about business. We have a club like Barcelona who's probably being run by a bunch of possums sitting in the boardroom who have now renamed their arena to, I don't know what it's called, Spotify playlist or whatever the hell it is called right now. They're auctioning their seats so that they can make a few extra bucks. Then we have Arsenal who have named their stadium after what
Emirates. Yeah.
at the Emirates. You got City who used to be at Main Road, now they're calling themselves the Etihad and whatnot. Time is not far away when United get taken over by someone and we start calling ourselves the Pan Parag Manik Chand Stadium or something like that. So it is what it is. I mean, whoever is paying you money, you go after it. Fair.
True. It is
Yeah.
quite funny in a way that Klopp left Liverpool saying he's run out of energy, and then he went on to an energy drink
Yeah. Yeah.
company. So
Also I
so
find it really funny where everybody else in their own lives is chasing money. Where
Yeah.
if you and I tomorrow are
I
given
know.
some, but when Jurgen Klopp wants to get into a good position and probably give security to his family, all of a sudden the heavens are falling.
I
Okay.
mean,
So
that
I
is,
just, I just,
I don't
yeah.
understand that about any of the other football transfers that happen, right? Like everyone is trying to chase money. Each and every one of us is trying to chase the same dream, the same everything. Like if tomorrow, like Saudi football, when they were starting up, right? For example, I heard that in the lower divisions they were paying people to come over and play, and they were ready to pay 200, 300K a year for anyone who came over from outside who could actually play. I thought, I wish if I was 10 years younger, right, I would have actually gone and done that. I mean, but all these high profile players get criticized for the same thing, right? Which is
Yeah.
exactly what you would do.
And see, I'll read out a passage from an article from one of my favorite journalists of all time called Jonathan Liu. So basically, Liu makes some good points that Klopp did criticize Red Bull Group in the past, and now he has joined them. But you just need to read what he writes. Okay, 5 minutes spent watching German television, where Klopp can be seen flogging everywhere from beer to Peloton bikes to investment schemes, will give you a pretty good idea of where he stands on capitalism. The idea that this millionaire in a tracksuit who spent 9 years working for American financiers might be some kind of anti-corporate revolutionary was always based more in fantasy than truth. So it is fine for Guardian or any other newspapers to make money while covering this. It is fine for
Yeah,
them to make millions while they cover World Cup in Qatar.
exactly.
I'm assuming
What?
That's what,
Guardian
right?
don't put any advertisements in their page. I'm assuming Jonathan Liu doesn't take a salary to write these
Yeah,
articles.
yeah,
I'm assuming all of that is true.
yeah. What kind of nonsensical? I mean, what kind of
Also, I didn't. I
outlandish
yeah,
question?
I think I missed the time when Jurgen Klopp had turned into Che Guevara and was running some sort of an anti-capitalist. What nonsense! What does that have to do with anything? He's a football manager. He was managing a bunch of players trying to kick a ball. Let's not turn this into something like a revolutionary or whatever.
Yeah. I think it was more made up by, it was more like the whole narrative was made up by the media more than it actually was true. I feel like that's
So,
how
so let's stop holding football manager and football players to that standard, right? That's the way to go.
you should absolutely never hold any footballers. Footballers are in real life they are ridiculously stupid. I'm telling you, you should never hold them to, for their moral values at least. You should never look for them, and you should not, you know. I mean, I think it's fine. They're footballers, and you love watching them play football.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Like I used to love watching Gerrard play, of course, all my life. But when I saw him as a manager, and I've seen some of his interviews, he's too. I don't want to say stupid. He's very thick. Like the guy was once asked in a rapid fire round, "What is your favorite cheese?" and he said melted. So so that's
He
when.
sounds like a nuclear scientist compared to the stuff that's come out of Wayne Rooney's mouth.
Exactly right. These two footballers are all. I mean, that's things
You
they
think
say
so?
sometimes. It's
Come
like
on, yaar. Wayne Rooney is not that stupid. Wayne Rooney makes some good points to overlap
Have you
on the field. Yeah.
forgotten? Have you forgotten the stuff that he's done after getting drunk and punching people and getting knocked out himself, and all the stuff that has happened in his personal life and where he's visited and the kind of people he's visited? Compare that to the amount of money the guy is making. A single celled organism is what he represented in terms of his brain power, but here he is making 300,000 a week. That I'm talking about that. That, in my opinion, is a mismatch because footballers, in terms of the way they're put on a pedestal, I mean, there are far better people in society that one should follow rather than these guys who are making shitloads of money for skills that aren't really important in general.
Yeah, that makes sense.